Now, before we upgrade our target cluster, let's just explain what we've got on the screen here. So on the left-hand side, similar to what we saw earlier, we've got our PowerShell ISE, where we're going to be running the upgrade commands from. In the top right, we've got our web app, which we don't want to be impacted by any upgrade operation. And in the bottom right this time, I've got my PowerShell window where I'm going to monitor the pods that are powering our application and the status of those throughout the upgrade. So as you can see at the moment, we can see we've got a number of pods powering this application that are all important to stay running in order for this application to operate. So the first thing we're going to do is going to get the versions of Kubernetes that were available to us to upgrade to. And I know that this particular cluster is running version 1.20.5, but you can see that we can run up to 1.21.2, which is quite a few releases ahead. So that's the one I'm actually going to choose. But let's just check what I've got available to me for my particular cluster. And you can see I've got the option between applying an operating system upgrade or some differing levels of patch or minor Kubernetes upgrades from the Kubernetes perspective specifically. I'm just going to take the single command of update AKS HCI cluster, define the version that I'd like to upgrade to, and let AKS HCI take care of everything for me, including any OS upgrades that might apply as part of that. So I'm going to let it handle that whole process by clicking yes to all, and off it goes. So it starts similar to what we saw before, downloading the necessary images, ensuring they're in the correct location, the cloud gallery, etc. And from there, we're going to download the new image for the Kubernetes version that I desired for this particular release. Let's open Hyper-V Manager. And you'll see, similar to what we saw before with the management cluster, what's going to happen to certain VMs as we perform this rolling upgrade of the infrastructure. And so what you'll see very quickly is as the process gets a little bit further on, we're adding images to the cloud gallery now, things have been extracted, and you'll see very quickly that virtual machines are now starting to be created in the environment as this rolling upgrade begins. So in this case, the first load balancer VM is being created side by side with the existing load balancer that was there previously. And once that's up and running, if we scroll down in the Hyper-V Manager here, you'll see we've now got 4 control planes. 3 was the number we had earlier, so 1 additional one has just started. Again, as we roll through in a rolling upgrade manner, keeping your application, keeping the control planes redundant and resilient as we upgrade the overall target cluster, which, as a reminder, has the load balancer, the worker nodes, and the control planes all to upgrade. And so you'll see now we're running an extra worker node side by side with our existing worker nodes as we again roll through and transition those respective resources onto the new VMs that are being deployed as part of the upgrade. And it's important to note when from a capacity standpoint that you do have enough capacity within your environment to handle these additional VMs starting up and running the different components of the infrastructure. And now let's flip over to look at the pods, and what you'll see on the pod side is that more and more of these actions are happening. We're creating new containers, we're terminating existing pods. These are in reflection of our application being provisioned on the new nodes that are running in the environment. So we've accelerated this a little bit just to streamline the process. But you'll see very quickly over a number of moments that the container infrastructure, AKS HCI, is orchestrating that creation and curation of all of those new applications and workloads. And so before long, we've got our environment up and running without any downtime, and our application has stayed redundant, stayed available. We can check if we've got any more updates that are available for us. Nope, we're on the latest version, so nothing for us to do. And what you notice there, the node OS has also been upgraded as part of the deployment. So straightforward, very easy to deploy and manage the upgrade and update process of a target cluster.